Hi everybody and poker players out there. This is Al Spath, your poker insider, with another broadcast on Heartbeat Poker channel. As a former dean at Poker School Online, I've had the privilege to work with thousands of players over the past 25 years as a poker coach. Today we have Ed Davis with us for a shadowing session. Welcome, Ed, from Ohio.
How we doing, everybody?
Well, Ed, we tried this once before and it didn't work. We'll try it once again because it wasn't on the right channel. Uh, let's see what happens. Why don't you go ahead and top off your tank there while we're at it? Rob Gagg is sitting at the table now. He's a former client.
Yeah, he's taken my money before.
Anyhow, Ed, some of the broadcast didn't go out to our players. You told me you read some books. You told me some really in-depth Sklansky books, which are kind of way up there. And then you told me you're reading Small Stakes Hold'em, which is right on target. You told me you just got the course, which is a very good one. You told me you just ordered the Ashley Adams book, which is great. So keep reading and keep watching those videos, and I think you're on the right track. You also told me that you've been out of the poker world for 7 or 8 years and you're just coming back. You're into it with a lot of enthusiasm now, which is really great to hear. And you're going to the live casino tonight with your mom because she's a birthday and you're going to play in a tournament.
Right. My
Did
first
I
live tournament.
First live tournament. That's great.
I have Ace 5 offsuit.
Okay. Privileged to work with thousands of players over the past 20. Another thing. That's fun to have, isn't it?
Today I'm finally meeting the father of my stepkid.
Shouldn't be no feedback again. Drush said, to hello everybody, and although there's nobody in yet, and good luck to you, Ed.
Thank you.
So, what is the weakness of your game, and what is the strength of your game? Go ahead and bet. Yep, your three-quarter bet is a good bet there. You've got the ace, although you got a bad kicker. They called you. They didn't re-raise you. They got to think you got a better kicker than you do.
Weakness definitely is just firing out properly on the turn, firing on the river. I get real nervous around that time if I can't get people off hands. I also really need to get a lot better on trying to deduce hand ranges and what the person possibly has and what I'm going up against. Has been a kind of a tough thing for me. I have pocket fours here, and it's one of those few times I'm just going to limp in. Since we've got some other callers, hopefully I can hit the 8-1 and maybe spike a 4.
But you didn't raise.
I didn't raise that, no.
If you raised, you'd have got more money in the pot. Now they're all checking to you. You don't want them to go away, so what are you going to do?
I think I'm going to do, since we got a flush draw on the board, I think I'm going to do a half pot bet here.
Okay. Remember what I told you about hands early on, about him trying to bluff, so.
That's a scary card.
Still a good bet.
Called.
Yeah.
Ugh,
That's a scary card.
that's the bad one. I have no diamond.
Oh no, you can't have a diamond. If you have 2 4s, you can't have a diamond. But see, hands will bluff this a lot of times. Late, he'll bluff it late. Yeah, he didn't do it at all. So now you're going to have a choice if he checks whether or not to take a shot at the pot or to just let it go.
I'm going to check it down.
Oh, no. You won that. I can't believe it.
I can't either.
Woo!
That was kind of scary.
Since they both checked there, I think they would have bet if they had a diamond. I would have put out. It was like 326 in the pot. I think I would have put out around 270 or something like that, and just took a gamble that my bet was going to tell them I had a big diamond. Because see, if you would have raised pre-flop with the fours, more money would have been in. Plus, they would have thought you had high cards at the end, and may have given you credit for having a high diamond.
Right.
Possibly. So, limping, I know what you're saying, and a lot of people out there try to do it. They try to limp with pairs and see the flop cheap and stuff like that, but it really pays to raise the pot, and people don't know what you have, and when you do hit your low cards, you really could have thumped that guy with hands. He had ace king that time. You could have got his whole stack by pushing, your stack at him on the flop. Because if you'd have raised pre-flop and he called you, or he would have raised you pre-flop, then you'd have hit the set, and then you'd have pushed on him, you'd have beat him. You see what I mean?
Right.
It worked out completely different. Rob Gagg is at the table too. He's also here in chat. We're on a 90-second delay, so he shouldn't have any problems. But if he wants to, in a hand that he's in or anything like that, he can tell us what he had. What did you fold on his hand?
It was a queen 5 off.
Right. All right. So let me welcome anybody else that's come in. The Lango's in the house tonight. That's Dave Romer. He broadcasts on Wednesday night on Heartbeat Poker. Last Wednesday was his first or inaugural tournament that he broadcasted. Everything went well. I had great feedback that I heard. I know Drush, and Samo, who run the site, heard nothing but compliments. Very good indeed. I've known Dave Romer for a long time. I was hired back at Poker School Online when I was the dean there, and he's over there, and he's the lead instructor now, so that goes to say a lot. Of course, he's got his triplets at home. I don't know how old the triplets are now. I think I'm going to say 10 or 11 years old. And he is a grinder in the Chicago area, goes to the World Series of Poker. That's a little bit about the Lango. That's Dave Hitman Romer. And of course, Matthias Anderson's going to be broadcasting from here. He was over at Poker School Online and won a seat to the $10,000 entry main event back in 2004 and turned that into 8th place and $585,000. So he'll be broadcasting here. I think he's got some things to take care of in the month of December and Christmas and everything else, but I'm sure we'll look forward to his broadcast. What do you have?
I have ace 10, and I don't think I'm in lay enough position to play it.
You don't think you're in what?
I don't think I'm in lay enough position to play it. It's too early in the position to play ace 10, so I'm going to fold that hand.
Okay. Here's the thing. Ace 10 is a tricky hand. A lot of my clients always tell me this one gets me in trouble. If it gets you in trouble, you don't play it. If you're in early position, most of the time you definitely want to fold it because there's too many people to act after you and you're going to be out of position and you don't have a strong hand. A lot of people down here at this nickel dime will play that because they look at it as two Broadway cards and they look at it as the ace and they get all excited about it. I have no problem with you throwing that away. However,
look at that flop.
The flop came good, but that's being results oriented. We're not going to be that. However, if it was ace 10 suited, I would think there's going to be a percentage of time that you want to raise, even though it's only 3% better with the suited cards when you're in early position or any position. But you want to mix it up every now and then. You don't want to play so tight that you can't get any action when you do play.
I had ace 4 there.
All right.
Yeah, if it was ace 10 suited, I would definitely be more apt to raise that for sure.
Okay. Dave says his triplets are 8 years old right now. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine 8 years old. Three of them. I can't imagine him at 7 or at 6 or at 5 or at 4. I know he's bald by now. He's got to be bald. He's pulled out all his hair. Now watch hands here. He'll raise. He'll use his position here if he plays. There you go. And he did a pot-sized bet. To get a pot-sized bet, you figure out the small blind, the big blind, put in 15 cents. Your normal bet would be 10 cents, so that's 25. That's a pot-sized bet. That's how you calculate it. what's in the pot and what you would normally bet, and that's how you figure it out. It's okay for you, Ed, to sit tight at these games and play good cards aggressively. It's okay at times at a very passive table to limp a little bit. I don't like limping at all, but there might be hands like a 10 jack, there might be hands like king jack, there might be hands like a 7-8 suited that if you don't want to raise with, you might want to see a flop if there's been a lot of limpers in the pot and nobody's been aggressive or anything like that. Because those are the hands that are going to win you lots of money. Ace king and ace queen are going to get trashed. Dave will tell you, anybody that knows anything about poker will tell you, those hands, the pocket pairs are good. The ace kings are nice looking cards. The ace queens are nice looking cards. The ace jacks look good. The king queens look good. They don't hold up a lot because this is no limit poker. And in no limit poker, it's big hands. It's the two pairs and above that are taking down the big pots. So, you know, when you play 5-6 suited and you get an open-ended draw or you get two pair, the person that hits or has a pair in their hand or hits a pair with the board, they'll stack off with you incorrectly and be behind in most cases.
I have 10-5 suited here. I'm only getting about 4-1, so I'm going to lay that down.
Yeah, you're at, well, here's the thing. You got 10-5 suited, which are lousy cards. You're in the blind, so you're out of position. So that's another negative. If you're not getting the pot odds nowhere near what you would have to have being out of position and with those cards. So that's 3 negatives. So anytime you get your cards, look at your position, look at the bets, what's going on. And if you have more of those negatives than positives or more of those debits than credits or equal, then don't play the hand. It's just too hard to play it. You want to make it so that when you look at your card, you say, good card, good position, I'm raising. When you have those 3 things going for you, you got it made because you've got everything on your side. So sometimes you might have good cards and bad position, in other words, under the gun. And so what you do is you raise, and sometimes when you have a full table like this, you want to raise a little bit more when you're out of position because of the fact that so many other people are yet to act. What do you have here, Ed?
I have 9-3.
Okay. Well, you're getting easy ones to throw away, that's for sure. We won't get as many people in on your session this morning due to the fact that a lot of people Friday nights and Saturday nights, you know, they're out and they're doing things, and it's Saturday and their kids and soccer and things like that. But what we are going to do is, like I always do, is videotape this. I'll put it up in my playlist up on YouTube, and I'll make a copy available to Samo. I think she takes care of the newsletters. Drew straighten me out if I'm wrong, and then she can put something out or next time, and she can include this in the newsletter, and then people can watch it at that time. I also need to find out from Samo how it is that I can make it so that I'm live on Facebook with the broadcast. I did post on several of the poker forums there, Poker School Online, The Grind, the HPP icon and everything, but I just want to know if it's showing that I'm on live at this time or not. I did put a post up this morning that I was going live at 10 o'clock. I just don't know if you click on that right now, it will show live. So if somebody wants to check that out for me, that'd be great. See, Ed, I do all the talking, don't I?
You're pretty good. Very distinguished voice.
Oh, I don't know about that. I ran into this gentleman who's doing a video for me this weekend on how to use heads-up display, explaining what all the numbers mean and how to use it. And this guy's got a great voice. Smart Poker Study is the name of the site. Ronster's in the house, finally. Ronster, get on a list if you want to sit at the table. Can't come in to Skype, but you can sit. We want all those toughies at the table, you know? Those guys that have been kicking ass at the 25 cent, 50, and the 51. Right. Now, Redskin, you just got in the chat, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm in the chat.
But you got to be careful that your um, whatever's playing on your computer don't play because the Skype we're 90 seconds ahead of that.
I have two lovely ladies in the pocket.
All right. What are your plans with the ladies of the night?
We're going to do a pot size raise.
Pot size, okay.
Actually, I might make that a little bit bigger since we've got some more limpers in.
Okay. And what if this guy raises? Now what do you do?
Well,
How much is the pot size bet? Hurry up. All right. You really want to always go about 3 times the size of the raise, but you got to account for also the limpers that put money into the pot. So I wouldn't have problems if you made that $1.50, $1.60. Also, he may just stack it with you right now with $6. You always have to be prepared to look at what a person has behind. See, he's going to stack it, and you're either up against ace, king, kings, or aces. But if you're up against jacks, tens, nines, you win. Okay, he hit the king. You had him beat. You had the better hand going in. Absolutely, queens is better than ace, king. It's just one of those things. He took the race, and in the flip, he was an underdog, but he won it.
that's that thing about poker. It's you can make the right play and you still lose out on the end, but that's the way the game goes.
Okay, but what we do in poker is we go back to see how could we played it differently and got a different result. Now, I think most people that are watching would say if you have the queens, you're going to re-raise. He's saying he's got a big ace or he's got something good, but most people will say you'd re-raise to find out where you are, and he went all in to tell you where you are. You could have folded at that time. You could have called his 45 cents, which I don't think is highly recommended because of your position. But when the king rolled off and he bet, you could have folded to hand and saved everything you lost over 45 cents. So there are ways you could have played it differently, but how many people would not re-raise with position with the pocket queens?
Right.
I'd like to hear Dave's, if Dave's still in the chat to. No, he had to leave, so he's not there.
I have 6-3 here.
Okay.
With the queens, I figured I had double his money, and with the queens, I was willing to race. Now, if he had more money than I and could have flattened me, I may not have called the re-raise just because I can be real nitty tight. But king rolled off.
What do you think? Queen against ace king. What is the percentages on that?
I think isn't it like 54 to 46, something like that.
Yeah, it depends on what suits your queens are in his cards and things like that. But yeah, even pocket deuces against ace king is something like 52-48. Deuces being a favorite. So the queens still are favorite. They get in the way of the ace king of making certain straights because, of course, 2 of the queens can't be used for straights. But you are ahead, but that doesn't mean you're always going to win. Just he's got 3 aces and 3 kings in the deck. He's got those six outs to hit plus straights.
Right.
The only thing you can say is, hey, look, I had queens. If I had $800 here and he would have raised $45, what would I have done with the queens in that case? And then would you have called? Would you have re-raised? Okay, let's say you re-raised to $130 and he went in for $600. Would you lay him down at that point?
I think you'd have to.
Okay, so sometimes we have to look at a different perspective. If you were talking about how much his stack was, and it was small, and things like that. But listen, when you exaggerate it and you add zeros behind it, you notice that the percentages stay the same, but
Absolutely.
you're protecting a bigger stack. Now, I don't think I've seen Rob gag in any hands. Maybe I missed it. I wasn't concentrating. We'll take an eye on him on the table. Here's a nice full-size bet here, saying he wasn't worried about that king. He's saying he has a king of some type, or maybe a pocket pair. Yeah, pocket pair. Whoa!
Wow.
Both. That's incredible to see that happen. That's not usual.
Have king 6.
Yeah. I remember your voice a little while ago when you said, "Oh, I got a pair of ladies." And I remember how you said, I could tell the excitement in your voice that it was a very good hand. It's not a very good hand till you see the flop. Let me tell you that right now. You got to see flops. It looks good, it looks pretty, but you don't know how it's going to run out. So they're nice. You want them. I was in a tournament yesterday that was broadcasting, and I wasn't getting any cards, and I was down to less than 10 big blinds. I got pocket kings. Everybody said, "Great, kings." Boom. Guy had king 3 of spades against me, and he got spades and spade on the river to beat me with a flush. So, and he had a king, and he had one in my house, and I had 2 of his house, and he still beat me. You just don't know about this game, how cards can come off.
Yeah, I was watching the stream at that time, and that hand was something.
That's sick, yeah. I see Marcin 89P is in. Make sure you follow Heartbeat Poker here. I know you follow me over on Spath, all one word. But Marcin, you're from Cambodia, originally from Poland, lives in Norway, but he's living in Cambodia right now. He's one of my newest clients, and he's in here listening today. If you got any questions, please ask them in the chat to the side, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Got a seat open that Ronster didn't take.
I folded jack 6 suited there.
Now Ronster's at the table. Next week, I'm going to try to get a bunch of the group together that I was organizing earlier. We were having Saturday get-togethers, and we'll try to come in and play a cash game on the HBP private table. So I'll get the word out as the week goes on. It'll be a 10-cent, 25-cent table. What do you have here in the big line?
I have 7-3.
Okay. That's the only thing when I'm not, I haven't learned how to share your screen and get your picture in my OBS so it looks like when we're looking at my table. And if I get some training on that, if there's a way of doing that, I'd like to learn how to do it.
Yeah, one thing you might be able to do is like a GoToMeeting, and then that way I can share my screen with you, and then you can just drag my window wherever you need to put it.
Where do we have
7-4 here.
Okay. So what hands have you played? Can you recall?
We played the pocket 4s, the queens, and I think early on I was in late position and raised with an ace-5 and
Won that.
I won that one.
Uh-huh.
So really just 3 or 4 hands so far.
You don't get many hands. If you take a deck of cards at home, good practice for people is just deal them 10-handed face up and see how many good hands are dealt. Do it 5 or 10 times and see how often it is. That's why when you get a good hand, you must raise. You can't let those people in with 6, 7 suited and pocket threes spike something on you. You've got to raise, and when you see it visually, it embeds itself in your brain, and you won't make that mistake again.
Have 8-3.
What'd you fold?
8-3.
8-3. I thought you said 3-3. I almost came out of my chair. So your biggest weakness again is the fact that on barreling and things like that, or what do you think?
That and just the reading the hand, trying to decide, trying to deduce what they have, what they could be calling with,
Uh-huh.
what they could be raising with. I guess putting the story together.
Putting the players on hands. Okay.
Yeah, putting the story together is what I get kind of cloudy with it.
You're not alone. There's a lot of people out there like that. So what you're doing and what you're asking and what we're looking at are ways to help you cope with that. How about now? What kind of cards you have?
I have 10-6.
Well, let's say you had pocket sevens or ace jack there. What would you do?
I would re-raise. I would probably throw in 85 cents there.
Okay, so you'd come over the top of him because you got position and his bet wasn't really significant enough to scare you in that situation.
Right.
Okay. You got to look at all the different aspects, plus the fact by you re-raising, you're going to knock out the people between you and the button, buying you the button and position through all the rest of the rounds. Those are all criteria that are important to give you edges over everybody else that's at the table.
I had 10-8 there.
Uh-huh.
It's a big raise by overstudy.
Yeah, a lot of times somebody in the backside they don't want to call it. They'll make it a little bit more. But there are people. I know a few. I won't name names that when they get aces and kings, they don't want. They just think they're gonna get cracked, so they make this big bet. Some of them will go all in. I mean, I've seen it happen many, many times. So you just gotta keep watching and see what a person does to get an idea of how they're playing and why they're betting so much. Now Rob's got the button here. If he's got nothing, he's gonna fold. If he's got something, he's gonna come over the top.
I folded 10-3 there.
All right, all right. I'll tell Jerry DeCripney that Smart Poker Study is doing a video this weekend from me on how to use HUD display. You might want to get in touch with Sky and talk to him because I think he'd like to see your setup.
I have ace-2 suited here, but I'm early and I don't want it to get into the pot with this hand.
All right. That's a quite. I would probably have raised with that hand myself. I would have made a pot size bet and made them think I had something better and took a chance at hitting something because you've been a little nitty here and it's not that it's a terrible hand. You still got some redraws. You still got some possibilities, but here you got a small raise and then a re-raise by Rob. I'm gonna say Rob has finally picked up a like a pair of kings or queens, or he's got the ace king ace queen combo here. Let's see what happens on the rest of this. Oh, he wins it outright. Cards?
I have 3-2 off.
Okay. Rob, second time in a row, he's in late position. I tend to think he probably has a little weaker hand this time since he's not facing a raise. So I'm thinking he's got ace 10, ace jack. He didn't tell us the last time what he had. Maybe in chat he will this time. Let's put him on ace 10 or ace jack. Look at that board. That doesn't hit him. He'll go 130 here to end it right now. He's not going to screw around here. If he had pocket queens, he would check. He goes $1, and he wins it. We'll find out in chat here in a little while what he had.
Nine four.
Great cards. Ronster's been quiet. He's in a small blind here. See if he wakes up with anything. Rob said he had tens, but I don't know which hand he had the tens. The first one or the second one. He had back-to-back winning hands. We got a 90-second delay, so he's not hearing me ask for it for 90 seconds, and then we have to wait for the results. You should have a note on hands. We'll bluff at the end out of position. So he is a big bluffer.
He's got the money.
He does now. Except the guy next to him has more. There's a limper. There's a limper. Ronster, don't allow that on the button. Come on. Put the 60 cents in there. 50 cents. Come on, Ronster. Nope. Didn't have anything. What do you got?
I got 3-2 off.
Oh my goodness. And Rob had ace 10 offsuit the second time. I said he had ace jack, I think, or ace 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. The first time I said pocket queens when he had 10. So I'm close enough to be putting him on things to make my bets. Nobody likes the diamonds. Somebody bet, they'll win. Whoever bets wins. First better wins. There, he wins. Wait, that's not a good bet though, is it? Do you believe that bet?
I don't believe that bet, but I don't believe my holdings are good enough to contest him.
It doesn't matter about your holdings. It matters, do you believe that bet?
I don't believe it.
Okay, so what should you do?
He could be suckering me in. Wow.
See? What should you do if you notice a bet that's just crappy?
Yeah.
Take it away from him. Throw a freaking pot-sized bet out there and just knock the hell out of the guy. You know, I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is remind you that doesn't look like a good bet. I want you to come up with in your own mind what you should do. And you did. I didn't know if you were going to fold or what you were going to do, but I'm glad you did what you did. You got to take shots like that at people that act weak. They don't act weak for a reason.
Right.
They're usually weak.
I have ace 10 of spades.
Okay.
And I'm getting about 4.5 to 1. I'm going to call it.
Okay. Did you think about raising it?
No, because I'm out of position.
Doesn't matter if you're out of position. If you think that your raise for $2 there pre-flop would have got everybody to fold, you'd have won the money, $1.10. You see what I mean? Now, if Rob is betting here, I don't particularly think he has an 8. He's probably got overcards, or he's got an overpair to the board, maybe 9s. And Ronster's staying in it. Ronster would have 8-9, 8-7 here. So I would think Rob is in a lot of trouble here. Maybe even 7-6, because Ronster loves to play 9-10 and 7-6. And Ronster would just call here with 7-6.
Pot size bet from Rob.
He'll go over the top if he's got the 8. But he shouldn't, because I think Rob's got bigger cards. He went over the top, and Rob's going to go away. I think Rob. Oh no, he's not. We're gonna see them both. Here we go. Threes, six.
Wow.
Okay, I told you he had 6-7, didn't I? And Rob didn't have enough pair. He can't do it. I thought he'd have an overpair. He had an underpair. That's a mistake, especially against Ronster there. That Rob knows he plays suited connectors and connectors. Yes, Ronster paid 25 cents with the 7-6 offsuit, but he also knew that he could take somebody's entire stack with it. That's why he's here.
Poker Wiz min raising again. I have Queen 9.
I would have
Take a
thrown
chance.
Queen 9 away. I would have thrown Queen 9 away. You got positioned, but I don't think Queen 9 is a very good hand here. Yes, he did a min raise. You've got position now, so you can float, you can barrel, you got a lot of things. He's going to call you. He did. Queen 9 looks like a great hand now.
Yeah, I haven't played many hands, so I guess
What
I'm
should you
trying
do?
to.
What should you do? I think I would have bet. I would have overbet this to make it look like I was trying to steal it and hope he had ace jack and put me all in. He still may do that, but I think he's going to go away now.
Yeah, that's
he
why I
flopped
went with the
nuts.
pot size bet there to try to see if you thought I was trying to steal it.
Yeah. And how about now?
I have 10-6.
Okay. So there's a limp from Hands. Now Hands is the kind of guy that would limp with a pair. He'd limp with a big ace, like an ace queen or an ace king, and try to set a trap. So you have to know your opponents at the table, and you should mark them and put a note on them if you get that information, because you're going to be playing them again somewhere down the line. See if Rob's going to let everybody see this flop for limping, or if Rob's got anything, he's going to put a 50-cent bet in here. Remember, we're on a 90-second delay, so Rob can't hear me, even though he's here in the chat. So is Ronster, but we're 90 seconds behind. Rob just gives up on it. Rob's burnt right now from the 7-6 from Ronster, so he's little gun, maybe gun shy. Didn't want to put that. See, Hands put 45, and I said he might have been slow playing ace king. Could have been.
I have 9-3. The reason this guy's name is Hands because he's in every hand.
His fold button does not work.
It doesn't work. It's broke. It's great.
Hey, I'd like to take time to acknowledge a few folks that are here today. Of course, Drush is in here, and Samo. They're running this operation on Heartbeat Poker. And then, of course, DeCrypney, Jerry's in here. Louisiana King is in here. I don't know your first name, but if you want to say it in chat, I'll give you a shout out. Of course, Ronster, Rob Gag is in here. Marcin is in here from Cambodia today. Slot Play is in here. You're in here, Redskin Fan, which is Xanadu at the table, and 0100. I don't know who that is, but welcome everybody. I'll be doing several of these a week. I'll try to announce it in Facebook and on my Facebook page, Poker Instructors Al Spath, and give Heartbeat Poker a heads up, because they put out schedule and information, but it's up to my clients as to when they pick for a certain date. I know Marcin and I are going to be doing this upcoming week. I think he just found Full Flush, gave him the link for it, and he just got on Full Flush, so hopefully we can do it here where I can record it really, really good for him. There's a raise in late position. We have a re-raise in out of position player. A limp from CT Poker Wiz. You got to be careful of him. He's been min raised, and all of a sudden he limped, and then Rob just gives it up. So I'm going to think that Rob, him stealing back there, might have had something like Queen 10, maybe have an ace rag. Rob, would you tell us? It's going to take 90 seconds for Rob to hear me, but would you kind of tell us in chat what you had? See if I'm close to it, guessing what you had, Rob. Remember, when you put players on hands, you want to put them on a group of hands, 2, 3, maybe even 4 hands, and then narrow that down as you go along, based on the betting and based on position and pot size and the flop texture and how they change the way their line is. That's the only way to get to the bottom result.
That's definitely the part of my game that I've got to get better at is finding that range of hands that they have, not getting stuck on one particular hand that they might have, but trying to open that up a little bit and try to put it all together.
Right. That's why it's to me it's easier to play at 10-25 and 25-50 than it is at nickel dime. At least at nickel dime you can start to imagine what people have or what they're doing. But anything lower than this, it's very tough because people throw money around willy nilly and they don't care about it. All right. So you really want to get to the next level as soon as you can. The only reason you're really playing down here is some people can increase their bankroll, is true, but you're trying to get rid of the mistakes in your game. You want to make a mistake, make it here where it doesn't cost you but $3 or $4. When you make a mistake at 25-50 or 51, you're talking 50, $100 at a clip. So you want to work all those kinks out down here. Have somebody shadow you if it's not a professional person that knows what they're doing and can point things out. Find a buddy, get on Skype or something, and just have them tell you what you could have done differently after the hand is over or after they've made an action.
Have 10-4.
All right.
Yeah, I joined Heartbeat Poker a few weeks ago, getting to know some of the people and talking, and it's been fun. It's a nice little community, and I encourage anyone to sign up and play.
That's right. Rob said he had Queen Jack. That hand I told you I thought he had Queen 10. So I was in the ballpark on that. Thank you, Rob.
I definitely would have raised with that hand on the button there when he did that.
He was in the cutoff.
Cutoff.
He was
Okay.
one before the button, and I think he was in the cutoff. I may have been the button, and then I think the small blind. No, you're right. He must have been the button because the small blind re-raised him.
Yeah, pitch re-raised him.
He was out of position. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's an easy fold on that re-raise from pitch.
Yeah, and now Rob is going to put $1.05, and now Hans has seen him lose with the pocket three, so Rob's going to get the action that he doesn't want here because his cards were shown before. And now Rob just calls, and Hans will fire. Yeah, Hans can't see now. Hans can't bluff because Rob's committed. If Rob would have done something different there, Hans would have tried to take that away from Rob. So he did the right thing that Rob did. Anybody that has questions that's in the chat room, please just type them out. I'm glad to wrestle with them for a while and talk about them. I'm sure glad you're here. Tell some friends to sign up. I put an offer up on Facebook today that anybody that followed Heartbeat Poker and me, Al Spath, on Twitch today would be eligible for a free shadowing session. So for those new people that do both today, also subscribe up at YouTube. That would help me out a lot. That'd be great. It's Al Spath with a space between it. Ronster hits the dollar here. What do you got, Mr. Xanadu?
I have King 4.
King 4 is, whoa, re-raised out of position by Roy. Ronston's got to have a Ronston needs a monster now because Roy says I've got kings or queens. Don't think Roy has aces, but if he's got queens, he's got a set. And if Ronster has ace queen, he's in bad shape. If he's got ace king, he's in bad shape. Ronster's going to fold it up. Ronster probably had 9s or 10s there. We'll wait and see if Ronster will tell us. Rob Gag says the delay is more than 90 seconds. I don't know. I'm going to see. Roy on button now. Start counting. So you guys start counting. Roy's on the button right now. Let's see how long it is before you see Roy on the button. I'm keeping count here too, so don't cheat me. Don't lie. What do you got?
I have 9 deuce.
Oh, okay. Hey! You don't know good. You don't know good hand. You don't know good hand when you see it, do you?
Oh, I don't. Want to burn these books and give it up.
Play any two, right?
Yeah, any 2 cards, baby.
But I was semi-suited. Still haven't found out what Louisiana the Limit King is. I don't know what that name is. I don't know if he's a limit player or what. I love limit play. I love 7-card stud. I'd love to have a game on here on 7-card stud, but I don't think we get enough players. Okay, he checked. This should be a bet. Half the pot. That's not a good bet. Still going to take it down. Okay, I've got a minute, over a minute and 10 seconds, and Roy just came off the button. I want to see what everybody else says. So it's almost a minute 15. So that's, to me, that's 15 plus 60. That's 75 seconds. Should be 90. Let's see what everybody else thinks when they see it. See, I just said that we're currently running a 90-second delay. See? Delay is 90 seconds with probably another 15-second twitch at auto has.
Folded Jack 6 there.
Okay.
Hands has been in every hand.
Don't believe him when he types in chat what he had. If he doesn't show you, you don't believe it. All right? It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I like it when they just show 1 card too.
You can't do that here.
Yeah, not here, but other sites.
I like sites like I like that, and I like also the ones that you can hit a rabbit cam and see the last card.
I like the rabbit cam. I have 5-2 suited.
Yeah. Crippney liked that about being semi-suited. every hand, huh? All right, Ron said, don't let this limping continue. Pop that pot for 55 cents. I know you can't hear me, but I'm trying to transmit through my brain waves here. Don't. Nah, he's waiting all this time to fold. I can't believe that. There it is.
Yes.
See that? I got through to him with my brain waves there. It's on the delay, folks. Remember, I'm not telling him what to do. And what you got? Nothing.
All right. I had 8-6 suited.
See how quick Oversteady called that bet? And then these other guys came right in. Now, Ronster likes 9-10. He likes ace-9 suited. Let's see if he goes here for about a $2.10 bet. I think it should be... No, he didn't have it. He didn't have it. He went 290. He didn't have it. Hopefully he'll tell us in chat what he had. It looks like he might have had an overpair or overcards. We'll just wait until he tells us. Ronster, tell us what you had on that hand, please. Or we're kicking you out of this chat. You're no good to us, Ronster, if you can't give us information after the fact.
I have 7-4. Now, hands is raising, and he usually limps, so...
What does that tell you?
He might have something decent for once.
All right. So, if he doesn't have a pair, a big pair, he misses. He checks there. Guy checks it back.
Maybe a couple of overcards.
Ronster said he had 3-2 of spades.
Ace queen.
A total bluff. I don't know if it was which hand it was, though. I don't know if it was that last hand or one before that.
I might have had him beat with my 8-6 of spades. I have Jack 9 suited.
Uh-huh. They look pretty good after a while, don't they?
They do. But unfortunately for them, they're going into the muck.
I might have just raised with it there, just because you've been so tight and everything. They're going to give you credit for a better hand. You're going to get these tight players out behind you and maybe take the button away from Rob, but he's going to try his hand at stealing again from the button. It's harder for him today because he got shown down at 3-3, so that's always going to make it much harder for him. And you had what, did I say, to raise with?
I had Jack 9 suited.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't wrong. It happens. Come
Just
on,
getting
Rob.
so many bad cards.
Yeah, Rob, you know he's going to bluff you. Uh-oh. This is where Hands likes to put a bet out and then show that he bluffed. So let's say he had like Queen 10 or Ace 10. Now watch it. See if he shows it. Nope, he didn't show it. I don't know what Rob was doing there. Uh-oh.
Timing out.
Was there a connection lost? The server on mine too. I hope that doesn't affect the stream.
There we go.
Uh-oh, I lost everything. Everybody will have to tell me in chat if we lost the stream or not. The table went away completely. The Krypny has sat down into Rob's. Now we're going to find out if it was Rob or if it's the cards or it's the player. Are you also in the chat, Ed?
Yes. I mean, I'm not chatting, but I've got it up.
Did it go down the table, or is it are you watching the table on that or not? No.
No, I don't have the stream up. No, but I've just got the chat window up.
Okay. Yeah, Rob got disconnected, so did I. I was just saying King Queen, but I don't know what he's talking about. This was way back, but when?
Yeah, I'm not sure which hand he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. There's a delay, but then there's also a monster delay.
Well, we got a seat open.
Yeah, it was just flush. Thank you.
We're gonna have pocket jacks.
Yeah, I might have even made it $1 there because you're going to be out of position to these guys. So, but now you got a good overpair.
Called.
I would have. Well, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You won, but I would have put all the money in on the turn and got his money in so that he didn't go away. That's the only thing I think you did wrong there. I think on the turn you could have put the rest of it in, and he would have thought you had overcards.
Yeah, I was. He was calling me down on some nice bets, and I was kind of afraid he might have had a set on me because he did do his usual min raise, but pre flop that is. So
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the session by signing off the thing and then reboot because apparently they're not seeing the table. It didn't get redone. So that's my bad.